Bloxburg have been pretty quiet this month with no leaks at all for any updates so far. However, I have my suspicions about a certain April Fool's update coming up, so Detective Glossie is on the case. Hey glossettes, welcome back. How are you guys doing today? It's been just over 2 weeks since the Valentine's update left the game, and we also haven't seen any update happen at the beginning of March, which leads me to believe that the next Bloxburg update we could expect to see is very possibly an April Fool's update. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the release date, any possible leaks, and all of the theories I have on this update. But before we get into the release date, I do also just want to do a quick recap on the previous April Fool's updates we've seen in the game, just to rule out any ideas we think it could be if they've already happened, and just because it's fun, okay? I think some of the April Fool's updates are some of the most fun updates we've had, so it's really fun to recap. Last year we got a pretty big April Fool's update, which is why I feel like we'll probably get another one this year too. In last year's April Fool's update, the whole map turned into what only can be described as Burgerland, with burgers everywhere and milkshakes and all sorts. There was a huge burger in the middle of the map where if you interacted with it, you would turn into a burger bun, and you actually had to go around the map collecting different burger parts to then become a complete burger at the end, and then you got a trophy, which was actually really cute. And it was a super fun April Fool's update. In 2023, we didn't actually get an April Fool's update, and this was back when we hadn't even got the official Bloxburg social medias yet, a few months after the game was actually bought by Coffee Stain, so it was obviously quite a busy time. However, we did get a tweet from Froggy Hops, kind of in the place of an April Fool's update, and this read, "The team is excited to preview an upcoming heavily requested feature, the color wheel. We are bringing you the color wheel and adding more color options in an easy to use linear palette to help you make all of those challenging color choices. Can't wait for you all to take it for a spin soon." And then it has this image attached to it where it was like this joke where you had to like spin the wheel and it would select a random color you could build with instead of being able to select the color yourself. So yeah, that was a small April Fool's kind of thing we got for that year, just a fun little tweet. In 2022, we got one of the most popular Bloxburg April Fool's updates, being the school update. Of course, it wasn't a real school. In this update, they added a fake school in the town hall, complete with a school bus outside and one singular classroom inside, with Tom as the teacher, of course. For this April Fool's, you had to complete a quiz, which was a bunch of the most random questions that had even more random answers, and if you managed to somehow get all of these right, you got a cute little school trophy too. Then back in 2021, we got this weird cube April Fool's update where if you kicked this cube near the town hall, you'd be turned into a baby, but also the whole map would turn pink, and honestly, I think they should have kept it this way. And you'd also get this mysterious cube trophy, which is one of the coolest trophies in the game in my opinion. If you've seen this before and you've wondered where you get it, it was actually from the 2021 April Fool's update. Then in 2020, the game got rebranded to House Building Simulator with a brand new thumbnail. However, we didn't actually have any update inside of the game itself. Then back in 2018, we had the Bloxburg Arthro April Fool's update where the thumbnail was changed to like a weird version of Tom, and Coeptus also tweeted out some images of Arthro characters in Bloxburg 2, and this was in the height of kind of like the very first talk of Arthro. It hadn't been added to Roblox yet, so this is why it was kind of used as like a lot of April Fool's update jokes. But that's all of the April Fool's updates we've ever had in the game, so let's talk about what could possibly be coming for this year's April Fool's update. In terms of the release date for this one, obviously it's an April Fool's update, okay? If it is an April Fool's update, it will happen on the 1st of April and last around a day or maybe a couple of days. I can't really remember how long last year stayed in the game for, but it's usually not very long, and most games only have the April Fool's updates in game for that day. If it's not an April Fool's update, then it obviously won't be on the 1st of April. However, if we do get just kind of like a normal update around this time, the dates it'll most likely happen on are either the 27th of March, which would be the last Thursday of the month, or the 3rd of April, which would be the first Thursday of the month. And this is because, of course, as I say in every update information video, Bloxburg updates usually pretty much always happen on a Thursday, more specifically the last Thursday or the first Thursday of whatever month it is. So honestly, it just depends if it's April Fool's related or not. We'll know if an update's coming though, hopefully in like a week or something, as we start getting leaks for each update like a week or so before they actually happen. Although if it is an April Fool's update, I'm not too sure if they'd actually tease for that. I can't remember if we got any April Fool's update teasers last year, because obviously it's meant to be a prank, it's meant to be a surprise. I don't know, okay? But honestly, that is all I can say about when it might be coming, because we have no idea what to expect here. So let's move on to leaks, and I think you all know what I'm about to say for this, because so far we have no leaks. We don't know what the next update in the game is going to be or when. However, I do, as usual, have some theories. If it is an April Fool's update, there's a few Bloxburg April Fool's ideas I've had for quite a while that could somewhat be possible, kind of relating to like memes in the community, and the first one is some sort of prank pet update. I think we all know that pets aren't coming to Bloxburg, at least not for a very long time. And a lot of people don't want them to be added at all because they don't want the game to kind of go down the adopt me route, I guess. However, can I just say here, I feel like if they added pets, they absolutely wouldn't do this, and I feel like it'd be very realistic, so I don't think we have to worry about that regardless. But yeah, the pet update is something that has been very requested, very similar to a school update, and of course they already did a school update prank before, so it would kind of make sense for them to do the same with a pet update, with some sort of like stupid pet type where it's not actually pets. Maybe it's like instead of normal cats and dogs, it's like burger pets or something weird. I don't know, a tom pet, I don't know, okay? But I just think it would be kind of like a funny, cool concept for an April Fool's update. Another one that would also be really cool is a monster truck update, where the whole map maybe gets turned into like mud or sand or something, kind of like a truck track to drive on, and then all of the players get to be able to drive monster trucks. And you may be wondering, Glossie, where on earth would the monster trucks come from? Where is the relevance to that? So if you didn't know, there's actually a secret monster truck vehicle that only the developers of the game have. You sometimes can see them in servers. For example, last year I actually had a Bloxburg event where Bloxburgler and Marie joined, who were of course a developer and a community manager. Once the event ended, the Bloxburgler actually spawned in like a ton of monster trucks for everyone to try out, and they are so fun. Like, they are so fast, they can climb over stuff, like it's amazing. So I do think it would be a really fun update because so many people are desperate for a chance to drive one. I wanted to drive one for years because I originally saw one on Coeptus's plot in like 2017, 2018, so I had waited like 7 years for the chance to drive one, and Bloxburgler gave me a pink one, so that was like a huge moment for me, okay? But honestly, that's kind of all the ideas I have. I mean, they also could do some sort of prank with like bringing back the fainting or something to joke about the whole kind of Bloxburg cancellation of last year, but I think that may hit too close to home for players and they might just get mad again, honestly, but it would be funny to me, okay? Anyways, yeah, that's all the ideas I have, and if it's not an April Fool's update, I also don't really know what type of update we could be expecting. Obviously, they're working on stuff like the map revamp and the school update for this year, so I don't expect kind of like a ton of huge updates before that. However, it is getting closer to spring, so maybe just some, you know, nice spring items or something like that would be added, but that is pretty much it. But let me know down below what theories you guys have and like ideas for an April Fool's update. Do you think we're gonna get one? Do you not think we're gonna get one? I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are, but that is all for today's video. And as usual, as soon as we have any new news or kind of leaks on the updates, I will be reporting on that as soon as I can, so make sure you subscribe to keep up to date with that. But I love you all so much, glossettes. XOXO, Glossie Girl.